everybody, and welcome back to part 24 of What If Peter Parker, also known as Spider-Man, was in the My Hero Academia universe. If you haven't seen the previous parts, there'll be a link in the description below and the annotation above. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and if you enjoy the video, please leave a like. I do want to say that this video is a long one, as you can probably see by the time tag, and I do want to apologize for that, or maybe you guys don't want me to apologize because you like it. Spoilers for the manga ahead. A couple of hours after the fight with Carnage, Midoriya wakes up in the hospital. He wakes up screaming. After realizing that the fight was over, he asks, "Where am I?" May, who rushed there after she heard what happened, answers, "You're in the hospital." Peter lays back down as he jumps up and asks, "What are my diagnosis? What happened to me? Is the woman okay? What happened to Carnage?" Aunt May says, "I'm a bit too old for this, man. I'm getting too old for this. And your brother's once again the same business as you. This is going to be a pain in the ass for me." She sighs and says, "You had a few broken ribs, a lot of blood loss, and a bunch of fractures in your arms. Luckily, Carnage's attacks missed all your vital organs. You rushed to the hospital as quickly as possible. However, the medics couldn't get that suit off of you, or they couldn't even get past it. It seems quite attached. But your healing factor combined with the suit apparently seems to have healed your wounds, and you seem to be in perfect health at this point. As for the woman, she is fine and managed to get away and call some pros to go help you, but by the time they got there, you had already defeated Carnage. As for Carnage, or as we now know at least, since his identity was revealed, Cletus Cassidy, it's all over the news, Peter. He has killed 17 heroes and 5 civilians in the last 2 weeks, more before that. He is known for all that. For killing people in the name of Stain. He is now being transported to Tartarus prison." She says again, "Look, Peter, I'm incredibly proud of you, but what you did was incredibly reckless and stupid. You're smarter than this. You didn't even have your gear with you. What if you were to die? What happens with your brothers? What happens to me? You're already neglecting us enough as is. What do you expect to happen if you rush into danger again and you end up dying?" Peter says, "Sorry, Aunt May, but I have to act. I couldn't save him. I couldn't stop Venom, the one who killed my parents, and is probably going to cause a lot more damage, but I just had to act in this case. I couldn't let Carnage kill that woman. What if she's a mother? What if she has people depending on her? I won't die, you can count on that, but I will make sure to save as many people as I can if I do. And I'm sorry I haven't been there enough for you guys since the dorm thing started, less than I promised to be. I'll try to be there more in the future." May hugs Peter. Peter then remembers, wait, where is my stuff? I kind of need it for something for school." May points next to the beds and says, "They're right here. Now come on, let's get you out of the hospital and back home. Your brothers will be happy to see you." Peter goes home and kind of spends the night with his family. The next day, Peter goes to school from home instead of from the dorms. He got permission from the school to stay home a bit with his family, since what happened. On the way to school, he hears many people talking about that new hero that appeared in the black and white suit. When he enters the class, he is ambushed by Kaminari and others, who show Peter the news pages and praise him for what he did. Midoriya tells him, "Glad you are okay." Later at lunch, Peter meets with both Harry and Gwen. When they first see them, Gwen jumps at Peter, hugging him and says, "Thank God you're okay, I was so worried." Harry says, "Glad you're okay. It was awesome that you managed to take down that serial killer. But still, we were very worried about you, since you didn't really show up yesterday." The next few days pass pretty quickly. Peter attends class, keeps studying, and while the other students practice for the dance routine and thing, Peter works on some holographic projectors for the show. About a week left until the Culture Festival, Peter has been working with Hatsume as well on a little side project, some new gauntlets for Midoriya. Peter goes to deliver them and take them to Midoriya when he's out training with All Might, and Midoriya thanks him. Peter then returns to the dorms, but on the way something weird happens. A portal opens, and out of it steps Miles Morales of Marvel Earth 1610, along with a couple of other Spider-Men. Among these, Ultimate Spider-Man from the TV show, and Spider-Man from the 60s TV show, and a bunch of others. Miles Morales says, "Peter, we need your help." Peter, freaking out a bit, asks, "Who are you, and you, and you, and you? Why are you all wearing different costumes that kind of really look like my costumes?" The Ultimate Spider-Man from the TV show takes off his mask and says, "That's because we are you, at least from alternate universes, and we need your help. You see, this is Earth 2305, or 2305, and currently there is a family of immortal vampires that travel across the multiverse killing different spider totems, like you, me, him. We need your help to fight them." Peter says, "You're saying there's a multiverse? That's insane, And he's kind of interrupted by Miles and the other Spider-Men, the glance that look at him. Miles says, "Calm down. We need your help. Are you in? Or are you out?" Peter says, "Let me get my stuff." After retrieving his stuff, Peter joins the other Spider-Man for their little adventure. It's the Spider-Verse event from the Marvel Comics. I just thought it would be a cool tie-in to have him do that. This would basically function as an extra episode. If you guys want me to do that, there will be actually an annotation, there'd be an annotation above. If the annotation gets over 12 votes saying yes, you guys want that, I will make the video. If not, this will be kept a secret. It's just the event that happens in the comics. I can explain it, or you can just look for it on Marvel pages, or the comic historian actually has a pretty good video of that. When Peter returns, 2 days have passed, and he now has an interdimensional wristwatch that the Spider-Men use. He goes to the dorms. He is greeted by Ida, who freaks out at him. "Where the hell have you been? We have been searching for you for 2 days, Peter." Ida turns to Sarah and says, "Please go get Mr. Aizawa and tell him to call off the search. Peter has returned." Peter then has to go through an interrogation thing and explains the situation in full detail to the teachers. The teachers find the story a bit hard to believe at first, but end up accepting it. Midoriya returns to his room, Peter returns to his room after the interrogation. It's about 7 o'clock. Peter puts the interdimensional wristwatch in a special box and then in a cabinet he has. He then gets a call from Aunt May. She screams at him, scolding him for disappearing. Peter then explains the situation, and Aunt May gets off his case and says, "You did what you had to do, I get it. Not bad, kid." Peter then gets a knock on his door and says goodbye to Aunt May. He opens the door and sees Harry and Gwen. He asks, "What are you guys doing here?" Harry says, "Well, you did disappear for 2 days. Kind of normal for us to worry and want to check in." Gwen hugs Peter again with some tears in her eyes. She's wearing the hoodie Peter got for her, and she says, "We thought you died or something." Peter explains the whole situation to them and asks them to keep it a secret, as the pros and teachers and police have asked him to do the same. But he still shared it with his close friends and family. Since it's kind of very hard to explain to the public that there is a multiverse. They agree and are very relieved that Peter is alright. A few more days pass and the day of the Culture Festival arrives. In that morning, Peter wakes up early to make sure that the holographic projectors are working properly and everything is going according to plan. Midoriya gets up early too, as he has some errands to run before their performance, running into Gentle on the way. We all know how that goes since it's in the manga. If you haven't read it, why are you watching this video? Peter takes everything to the room. they are performing, and then sets up everything so that everything will go smoothly for Eri's sake at least. So Eri can have a good time watching this. 5 minutes before the performance begins, Midoriya arrives, cutting it really close. The performance begins and is a complete success. The band does great, with Jiro doing a great job on vocals, singing, Bakugo did great on drums, the dance group does something very nice, and the holographic projectors were very successful too, managing to entertain a lot of people as small planes throughout the room, making small explosions like fireworks, a miniature version of All Might dances with the song, and many other little things. After the performance is done, the class starts cleaning up. While Peter is doing so, Gwen walks up to him and says, "Wow, you did a great job with those holograms, Peter. Did you create all the assets and animations yourself?" Peter blushes and says, "Yes, I actually put a lot of work into this, before I disappeared." Gwen shyly says, "Hey, you maybe, you wanna maybe check out the rest of the festival?" And blushes. Peter says, "Sure, I just have to finish putting the stuff away." After that is done, Peter and Gwen go out and see the whole festival, having a lot of fun actually. They see the Class B play, the 1B play, the haunted house, and many other parts of the festival. They get some ice cream, talk, and honestly, do have a very good time. At a certain point, Peter turns to Gwen and asks, "You want to see something cool?" Gwen says, "Sure," smiling. Peter puts on his web shooters and grabs her in her arms. They both blush a little, and Peter says, "Hold on tight." Peter then jumps in the air and swings to the top of the main UA building. After they are done swinging and Gwen recovers a bit from the adrenaline rush, she says, "That was awesome! Do you feel like that all the time?" Peter answers, most of the time, yes, but you learn to live with it, you kind of get accustomed to it. You're missing the best part, though, as Peter shows her the view. And takes her closer to the legend so she can get a closer look and says, "Look!" Gwen looks in amazement at the great view from on top of UA as the sun is setting. She says, "It's beautiful." In another location, more precisely in an Oscorp fundraiser Harry had to attend instead of attending the Culture Festival, Harry is super bored and playing with his phone. His father approaches him and says, "Why is it that your generation is always borrowing their phones?" Right after he says that, a huge explosion is heard as the big window shatters. 3 men come in through the window, and followed by a couple others. Dr. Octopus, the Shocker, who actually caused the window to break, and Electro come in through the window, followed by others, but I will not get into detail on who those are yet. Back at the rooftop, Peter looks at Gwen and says, "Yes, it really is beautiful." They both kind of lean into each other and share a kiss for a couple of moments, sharing a very touching moment there. They both lean away, and blushing Peter says, "That was," and Gwen finishes his sentence, "Yeah, that was very nice." Peter's phone then starts ringing, and Peter grabs the phone and sees a couple of missed messages from Harry. Among them, one says, "SOS." Peter says, "Sorry, it's Harry, I think it's important." Gwen says, "Go ahead, pick it up." Peter picks up the phone and says, "What's up?" Harry says, "Peter, I need your help. You have my location. I sent it to you. It's Doc Ock. He, Electro, and some other villains are..." And the line gets interrupted. Since I'm guessing the phone was destroyed or something. Peter's face is in shock. Gwen asks, "What's the problem?" Peter answers, "It's Harry. I think he's in danger." Peter grabs Gwen tightly and jumps off the roof saying, "I'm sorry about this," because it's kind of... Peter uses the webs to slow the descent, landing comfortably on the ground, but still, Gwen kind of a bit nauseated. Peter says, "Call the heroes." He grabs his phone and sends Harry's location to Gwen. "Tell them to go there," he says. Gwen asks, "What are you going to do?" Peter says, "I'm going to help my friend." He prepares to leave, but is stopped by Gwen, who grabs his arm and pulls him in. She gives him another kiss and says, "Good luck, Peter. Get back safely." Peter says, "I will," as he runs away. Peter goes to the lab. He says, "Where is it? Where is it?" as he's looking for something. He keeps looking through a lot of cabinets until he eventually finds a case and says, "There you are," and grabs it. Peter then runs off to save his friend. I know this was a bit long, honestly. I think this is going longer. This is actually shorter than I thought it was going to be, since I wrote like 4 pages. And last time I wrote 4 pages, it was like a 20-minute video. But I do hope you enjoyed all the same. If you did, make sure to leave a like to show your support this series, and show your support. This series has become the least watched series on the channel. Probably because of the length, like it's part 24. But still, please let me know if you want me to continue or if you want me to end this series. I mean, there are a lot of ideas I do have before I actually catch up with the manga to put in there. But if you guys want me to do another series and instead, I can also do that. Let me know. Yeah. But if you guys want, yeah. Well, that's it for me. Remember to leave any and all suggestions in the comments and feedback that you may or may not have. And until next time, have a nice day, everyone.